your mental. Like, how was your day to day? I'm sure there's things you suffer from. There's things you've seen that you can't get out of your head. And we hear it all the time with former vets who battle these things of things they can't really get out of their head. You get what I'm saying? That they're battling on a day to day. What is the mental like for you guys?
It's different for everybody, I think. I did a lot of work. When I went back to pharmacy school the second time, I went back because, I lost a lot of guys and friends of mine in service of our country. So guys that died in combat and in training. I realized that after I'd been out for a while, I was losing just as many friends to suicide, and guys that you would never expect. One of the things about that particular community, special operations community, is that they're the guys that you go have a beer with or have dinner with, and everything's cool, and then you get the call the next morning that they killed themselves. They never threatened it. They never said, "Oh, I'm down." They just do it, and which is a little bit different. You have people that go through what they call suicidal ideations, where they will come in and go, "I'm thinking about self-harm" or something like that. Not those guys. They don't tell you that. They just go home and do it. And I've got so many phone calls, 2:00 in the morning from a wife or a child saying, I got bad news for you. So I went back the second time. First time I didn't really have a mission. Second time I did. And I was like, I got to figure this out. And a lot of times I thought it was drugs and stuff like that. But as I got deeper and deeper into it, I realized I was no closer to the solution or the answer than I was when I started. So it's super complicated. But you wonder how two people can stand on the same meter of ground in the same combat operation and come back and separate them and ask them, tell me what happened. And both of them tell you a completely different story, so different that you would think that they weren't even on the same gunfight, and both of them be true. And when I started looking at guys that had struggled to the point where they did self-harm, a lot of those guys had really, really hard backgrounds and unstable backgrounds as children. And on the other hand, though, you see guys that go through a lot of crap, and they come through it like a rock star. And so, somebody told me one time, hey, when things are really, really, really bad, that's the time you need to be optimistic because they can only get better. Right? When you need to worry is when things are going perfect. When things are going good in your life and you got all the money in the world and the sun's shining and the gods are smiling, I'm going to scratch my head and go, okay, where is it coming from?
Right.
It's kind of like when you're back there, running around and you wonder where that hit's coming from. It's like you don't ever see it coming. Then you got Lawrence Taylor come take your head off. Yeah. And you're like, where was it? And but that's life.